Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I continue my series in Psalm 119 is today's chapter. I can't read the entire chapter. It's 176 verses. I'm on the section called Ayin. Ayin means I. And for any of you that wondered why in English do we not just write the letter I for I? The ancient spellings of Ayin were A-Y-I-N, and over the years that got changed to E-Y-E for I. But it means I. It's the eye of God and His providence, and the numerical meaning for Ayin is 70. So that's how I can find it. See, Aleph was 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Yod is 10, and when we get to 10, we go by increments of 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And here we are at Ayin. It's verse 121 to 128. So each stanza is divided up by a Hebrew letter into 8 verses. And the number 70, you think, well, I've not heard the number 70 a lot. Well, the base for 70 is 7, which is a holy number. But when Noah had his generations listed to his sons and grandsons, and maybe there was a great-grandson thrown in there, there were 70 descendants mentioned, and there were 70 nations. When Jacob had his family, he had forgiven his family for selling him into slavery, and when they came to Egypt, there were 70 of them. And when Moses was out in the desert, he had 70 elders. And the Sacagawean had the leader plus 70 members. So the number 70 is special to the Jews. And so David, being the king of the Jews, probably wrote this psalm. He wrote many of them, and he is responsible for them being written. So let's start reading. In verse 121, I have done what is righteous and just. Do not leave me to my oppressors. Ensure your servant's well-being. Do not let the arrogant oppress me. My eyes fail looking for your salvation, looking for your righteous promise. Deal with your servant according to your love, and teach me your decrees. I am your servant. Give me discernment, that I may understand your statutes. That is time for you to act, Lord. Your law is being broken, because I love your commands more than gold, more than pure gold. And because I consider all your precepts right, I hate every wrong path. I had talked before about staying on the right path. And here the psalmist is asking God for protection from their oppressors. When you are a Christian, you will have oppressors. You will have people that don't like you just because you're Christian. And who would that be? Well, everybody that's not Christian. I like to listen to a gentleman who broadcasts from Jerusalem every morning. And he is a Levite and he knows his Bible, and I enjoy listening to him, but I do not comment on his page. One morning he called me a Zionist spy because I'm not Jewish. I'm Christian. I'm a Zionist, which I'm not totally a Zionist. I do believe that the Jews are God's chosen people, and I am pro-Israel. But from his point of view, I'm not Jewish. And that, even though I want to have, even though I learned from this gentleman, and I have the point of view of compassion and love and accepting to him, he doesn't have that same attitude towards me. He looks at Christians and Americans being adversarial to Israel. So, you know, in a way, he's one of my oppressors because I want to come in and discuss the Word with him, discuss the Old Testament, discuss what's happening in the world, and he doesn't want me there. So you don't always, you know, you can choose your friends, but they might not choose you back. So what I do is I just listen, because I am there to learn and to be true to my word. I just listen. I don't say hello anymore. You know, if someone is insulting you because they perceive that you're something else than you are, what you can do is not be that thing that you said they're saying you are, by engaging them just to the level of where they're comfortable. And he's not comfortable with me being in his room chatting. So after his live is over, that's when I listen to him. And I don't make any comments. I don't have any interaction. I just consider it like a lecture. And sometimes you have to do that in life. Okay, I can benefit from, you know, listening to this person, but they don't see any benefit in me. Now, that's probably a mistake on his part, but, you know, that's my ego talking. But I am humbling myself to engage or not engage in how the other person's comfortable. But do I feel oppressed because he's, you know, excluding me because I'm an American Christian? Well, yeah, of course I do. But I don't let that cheat me out of the benefit of his knowledge. So that's how it goes. And I could pray to God, do not leave me to my oppressors. I don't think this gentleman would do anything harmful to me. I'm not on his scope that big. But in order also to protect myself as an American Christian, I'm not going to engage with him. He probably has put a bunch of stereotypes on me that are not appropriate, because each American Christian can be very, very different. The number of denominations, the different, unfortunately, political attitudes have been mixed with Christianity in America. You know, I kind of understand his point of view, but maybe I'm not the American Christian he thinks I am, because there's so many different types of people in every belief system, in every denomination, in every nationality, that if you decide to exclude someone because they're that label, that person might have ended up being your best friend. You don't know. So as we go forth from Independence Day, let's keep that in mind. Our founding fathers had the right idea for America to be a melting pot of different opinions and ideas. And Of course, being American, I think the world should be that way too. So maybe I am on spot with what he is stereotyping me to be to a degree. But those aren't fighting words to me. So, to allow everyone, well, yeah, it is kind of fighting words. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe people should not be oppressed. And we can pray to God today on the 4th of July. Of course, this will air a few days after the 4th of July, to protect us from our oppressors, those who would attack our country and our Constitution. No, we're not Jewish. We're not God's chosen people. But every nation has a right to have a sovereignty under God. And the whole world does too. And we all have that equally. And so those principles of equality and freedom of speech and freedom of religion, I think the whole world should believe in democracy. But, there are people that disagree with me on that. But as an American, I believe that. And if that's what he has a problem with, well, I pray to God to help him. But anyway, no one will know who I'm talking about. I'm just talking in generalities. But I am so reminded, God sees everything. God knows my heart. God knows his heart. God knows your heart. He knows everyone's heart. And he knows that we have, for the most part, as American Christians, good intentions towards the world. Our government does not represent what our intentions are. Just like, the average person. I always, there was a Muslim in Paris that was interviewed on TV when Notre Dame was attacked. And the news reporter very unfairly said to this individual Muslim, why didn't you do something? We could also say that as individual Americans when our government does something atrocious or there is an attack on our ground, civil attack, domestic terrorism. Why didn't you do something? So we as individuals don't have the power to change the ill intent of others. And we have, police, and we have FBI and CIA and all of that that's supposed to thwart those sorts of things. But I, as an individual, do I take the responsibility of the atrocious acts of maybe some other American Christians? Do I have that power? The only thing I can do is pray to God to give me discernment and pray that I can understand God's laws, and pray for Israel, and pray for America, and pray for the world. And I can go to the voting polls and vote, but once that person is elected, whether I voted for them or not, I have no control over them. I have no control over what a lot of American Christians have as opinions about other people. If you watch this channel, I'm about love, and I'm supportive of the LGBTQ community as a Christian. So the type of Christian I am might be different from what, especially someone overseas perceives as American Christian. We're not all the same. And I don't have any hate for those American Christians that he is thinking that I am. I disagree with them, but I don't hate them. They're part of the body of Christ, whether I like it or not, or you like it or not. The Christians that are leading us towards fascism and taking away free speech in public schools and for our children and what they can read and what they can't read, those are American Christians. So I kind of understand his opinion. but not everybody is the same. So God sees all. God knows all. Pray and keep your eye on what's going on. Have a wonderful and blessed day.